Hi Peas, Paige Evans here today to help you scrap your stash of Christmas embellishments. I know Christmas is over now, but it's still December, so in my mind that means we can still scrap Christmas. And you can't even really scrap your Christmas photos until you get some on Christmas, so everything's all good. So I used a bunch of supplies from American Crafts, Crate Paper, Studio Calico, Ellie Studio, and just tons of embellishments from those lines. I also used some exclusive 2Ps cut files. So I die cut this Christmas background, or Christmas tree background, using my Silhouette Cameo, my best friend, and I am tracing the trees along the inside because I don't want to be able to see my pencil lines, so I'm just making my pencil marks a little bit bigger. And next I want to decide which embellishments are going to go inside each Christmas tree. So I'm using some star sequins, I'm leaving a spot for journaling, and I wrote journaling right there, so I noted journal there. Some buttons, badges, snowflakes, stickers, as well as 3 different pieces of pattern paper. And I want to leave a couple of trees for stamping using these Ellie Studio stamps. I'm just going to write stamping so I remember to stamp in those ones. And in the last one I'm going to put ribbon. So we're going to start filling each of the Christmas trees with the embellishments that I chose. These are some awesome glitter foam thickers by American Crafts. This section I'm filling with wood buttons. These are by American Crafts and Crate Paper. I love wood buttons. I think they just add the perfect finishing touch on like any project. These are some wood veneer starburst shapes from Studio Calico. Wood veneer is so great. Another perfect finishing touch. These are some star sequins by Studio Calico. And instead of gluing each one down individually, I just pulled my glue runner all along inside the Christmas tree, and now I'm just placing them one by one. Voila, add a little bit more adhesive, stick it down, call it good. And in this section I'm putting 3 pieces of flair. These are badges by Crate Paper, and that last one is by Studio Calico. For the next 3 trees I want to use pattern paper, so again I'm tracing a tree onto the back side of the pattern paper, cutting it out, and then I'll stick it down on those 3 Christmas trees. I'm definitely not making this perfect. It kind of looks like a hot mess right now, but once it's covered up with the die cut sheet, hopefully, fingers crossing, it'll look pretty cool. So I'm just cutting it out, not worrying about making it perfect because you won't be able to see it. And another section of sequins. These ones are gold stars this time, and this time I am gluing them down individually, just using some glue dots. It takes a little bit longer, but I like how it adds a little bit of dimension because the glue dots aren't perfectly flat, they've got a little rise to them. Another Christmas tree filled with wood buttons. Easy peasy. Here are some plastic starburst sequins die cuts by Studio Calico. Love these, I used them a whole bunch this season. These are some awesome snowflake stickers by American Crafts. Perfect for your wintry layouts. I actually end up moving these snowflakes to the other side and doing stamping in this one. Sprinkling on all these silver star sequins because it would just take forever to place them one by one. For this tree, I want to cover it with ribbon. So these are some American Crafts ribbon strips. So I just did a little test right there to make sure everything's looking good. And now here's where I realize I want to move the snowflakes over so that I can do my stamping on this one. Luckily these peeled up nice, didn't rip any of the paper. So these are some sentiment stamps and Christmas themed stamps by Ellie Studio. And I'm using some black StazOn ink. This is my favorite kind of ink. I'm doing 2 sections of stamping, so I'm just going to switch out the sentiment. If I'm using a stamp for the first time, I like to do a test run a couple of times just to make sure the ink really gets on the stamp. You get a good, crisp, dark, perfect stamp. Again, just switching out switching out the sentiment, doing a couple of test tries, and then stamping on my paper. Placing the die cut page over, fantastic. Moving on, so I chose these pictures of my daughter Jane, my son Fox, and I die cut these stars and these phrases using the exclusive 2-piece cut files and used my silhouette. I decided not to use the stars, but I am using these awesome, they look like handwritten sentiments. They say all is calm, all is bright. Thought maybe I could use the stars, but again, I just decided to keep it cleaner. And I like the placement. So now I'm going to adhere everything down permanently using this super sticky double-sided tape from American Crafts. And first I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back just to keep things down, but then I want to staple them in place. I just used a regular office supply stapler, but after trying to staple these, I just went to the 2-piece store and I bought myself a Tim Holtz tiny attacher. Merry Christmas to me. I can't wait to get it so I can start stapling things better, because this staple has seen its last days. Okay, so I left that last Christmas tree empty so I can add my journaling, and you can read the journaling below. And then to bring emphasis to this tree, I'm going to outline it. It's kind of scary to do this, excuse me, and I messed up a little bit, but it just adds to the handmade nature of layouts and scrapbooking. Finally, I'm going to drop some black mist across the top left and bottom right corners. I added a couple of sequins and a ribbon bow, but here's the finished layout. All is calm, all is bright. I took the inspiration from my holiday mini album, just backing shapes with fun embellishments. So your challenge is to scrap your Christmas embellishments.